Hey, everybody. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope you're having a great week. As for me, I'm pretty good. My last episode, I mentioned about my washer being broken. Well, it is now fixed. The repair guy actually had the part on him, so he was able to fix it. And I'm so excited about that. Nice, clean clothes again, guys. But anyway, enough about that. We're going to talk about transgender today, and I have tons of information to share. And I'm not saying that I know everything or I know anything about it, but I'd like to learn. And I did research this so that I could get information to share with you guys. Now, being transgender means that a person's gender identity, their internal sense of being male, female, or something else, doesn't align with the sex that they were given at birth. Gender identity is a deeply personal experience, and for many transgender people, it may feel disconnected from societal expectations or the body they were born into. It's important to take note that being transgender is not about a choice or a trend. It's about someone's true sense of self and how they experience their gender. Like, for example, a person assigned female at birth might identify as a male, or a person assigned male at birth might identify as a female. And some individuals might not feel strictly aligned with male or female identities and might identify as non binary or genderqueer. It's also important to recognize that being transgender is just a part of someone's identity. Transgender people, like anybody else, can have diverse interests, talents, and experiences that extend beyond gender. Their gender journey is just one aspect of who they are. Now, I had looked this up a little bit because I don't know what the spectrum is of it, so bear with me here. Gender identity isn't limited to just male or female. It exists on a spectrum with many different ways people can experience and express their gender. Some might identify as strictly male or female, while others might fall somewhere in between or outside of these traditional categories altogether. Now, binary is the way I think it's pronounced. This is an umbrella term used by individuals whose gender identity doesn't fit within the traditional male female binary. Non binary people might identify as a mix of both genders, neither gender, or as a gender that fluctuates over time. Genderqueer, similar to non binary, genderqueer refers to people who reject the traditional notions of gender. This can mean identifying outside the binary or rejecting gender altogether. And gender fluid. Gender fluid people experience their gender identity as something that can change over time. A person might feel more masculine one day, more feminine the next, or somewhere in between. And then agender, some people identify as agender, meaning that they don't feel a connection to any gender at all. They may feel gender neutral or completely devoid of gender. The language and the labels around gender identity are always evolving, and there is no single right way to be. It's about personal experience and expression, and the key is respecting how someone identifies, regardless of how they choose to label themselves. And I totally agree with that. While being transgender is an important and valid part of who someone is, the journey can come with unique challenges, many of which are deeply rooted in societal norms, discrimination, and misunderstanding. And here are some of the most common struggles transgender individuals may face. Transgender people often encounter discrimination in many areas of life, from like employment to healthcare to education. This can include overt acts of prejudice, like being harassed or excluded, as well as subtle forms, such as being misgendered, using incorrect pronouns, or gendered language. This stigma can lead to a sense of isolation, anxiety, and a lack of belonging. The stress of living in a society that doesn't always accept or understand transgender people can take a toll on mental health. Higher rates of anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideation are reported in the transgender community, often linked to experiences of discrimination, rejection, and the lack of support. It's crucial to note that these mental health challenges are not due to being transgender itself, but rather the result of the societal pressures and the negative experiences. Access to support systems and a more accepting environment can make a huge difference in mental well being. Accessing gender affirmative healthcare can be a significant hurdle. Many transgender people face discrimination from healthcare providers, lack of access to knowledgeable professionals, or financial challenges when it comes to medical transitions. Even something as simple as hormone replacement therapy, which is HRT, can be difficult to access depending on where someone lives and what kind of insurance they have. Additionally, some transgender individuals experience significant delays in receiving appropriate care or are forced to navigate a system that doesn't understand their needs. For many transgender people, updating legal documents such as IDs, birth certificates, or driver's license can be a complex and stressful process. These documents often reflect a person's assigned gender at birth, which can create difficulties in navigating everyday life. The process of changing these documents may involve time-consuming paperwork, legal hurdles, and even potential legal challenges depending on where someone lives. And sadly, transgender people, especially transgender women of color, are at a higher risk of experiencing violence, including physical and sexual assault and hate crimes. Transgender people face higher rates of violence compared to the general population, which is compounded by factors like race, class, and geographic location. While the challenges can be tough, there are plenty of resources and support systems available for transgender individuals. We have support groups, mental health support, gender affirming healthcare, legal help, and there's some online resources that I had found. While the challenges can be tough, there are plenty of resources and support systems. So connecting with others who understand your experience can be very powerful. Look for local or online groups where you can share your journey and find a sense of community. Therapists specializing in gender identity can offer essential support. LGBTQ, LGBTQ affirming counselors can help with navigating emotions and the complexities of transition. Gender affirming healthcare gives you access to appropriate healthcare, and that's crucial. Many clinics and organizations provide services like hormone therapy and surgeries, and some offer sliding scale fees for those in need or don't have the financial ability to pay. Changing legal documents can be complicated, but there are organizations that offer legal assistance to help with name and gender marker changes. And then we got the websites, which are really good, like PFLAG, and then there's another one that's GLAAD, and then the Trevor Project offer valuable information, while social media groups and forums can provide spaces to connect with others and learn more. Remember, reaching out for help is a step towards empowerment. You don't have to navigate this journey all by yourself. Now, just in looking up all that, I learned a lot from the topic, and I got more of a understanding of things that I didn't know, and I'm grateful for that. But I would like to hear from you all about this topic. Maybe someone who knows someone, or if you are transgender and you feel free to let me know your story or correct me on any things that are incorrect. And I really look forward to that. So make sure to let me know. And that's it for me, guys. Thank you for listening, and we will talk soon. Take care and God bless.